It has been a while. It's been a while since I have posted anything related to MikroTik. To be honest, there's been a few reasons for that. I've kind of lost the faith when it comes to my favorite manufacturer, my favorite vendor of network equipment. I love MikroTik. I've used it extensively. I wrote the books. I've got the certifications. I've evangelized it to so many people, especially people who are just getting into networking, who needed something, a really dynamic, really available, cost-effective tool for them to dip their toe into the networking space. But everything over the last while has just really put me off of it. I was so excited to see Router OS 7 come out, and whew, there were some issues. BGP issues, OSPF issues, IPsec issues, so many issues around hardware stability and software stability on the CRS line. It was enough to really put me off. It was enough to kind of say, you know what, it's time to take a step back and just wait and see what happens. So that's the point where I stopped focusing on MikroTik. I hate to say it, but that's the direction that it went. So this is the first piece of MikroTik content that I've put out in quite a while, but it's not going to be the last. And this is not a video to just shit all over MikroTik. MikroTik is so unique, so good. There is nothing else like it in that price point. There is nothing else out there where you can get a decent hardware router, where you can run the dynamic routing, where you can do the advanced firewalling, where you can do scripting if you want to, where you can get the advanced wireless features and the tunability, the nerd knobs that you could tweak. There's nothing else out there for the price that gives you all of that. But God, it's been hard. It's been really hard to recommend MikroTik lately to people, especially on the switching side. God, there's so much about switching on MikroTik that just shouldn't be as hard as it is. I have a really hard time recommending MikroTik on the access side, the switching access side. I've got a really hard time recommending them on the wireless side as well. There's still so much catch up for them to do in the industry compared to Ubiquiti or Aruba or some of the others. And granted, comparing Aruba to MikroTik, it's not an apples to apples comparison. The price points are totally different. The audience is totally different. But still, Aruba has things that small businesses can afford now. Anyway, all of that to say, I took a step back. I was frustrated with stability. I was frustrated with the progression of Router OS 7. I was waiting and waiting and waiting to refresh a lot of the materials that I've put out. The security guide, the IPsec guide, the dynamic routing guide, all of that. Waiting and waiting and waiting to do a refresh on those for a stable Router OS 7. And at this point still, October 2022, Router OS 7 is still not the recommended stable release for all processor platforms. And I think we're probably quite a ways out from that. So I'm just kind of tired of waiting at this point. I think I want to get back into MikroTik. I really want to do the deep dives that I used to do. I want to get back into it, even if it's not perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. So anyway, this video is just super rough. It's super rough. It's unrehearsed. I'm sitting in front of an empty wall. There's nothing. I'm renovating an office into a studio space. You can see one of the sound dampening things over there. I've decided to get back into it. I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to start producing MikroTik content again. I've found the faith. I'm going to give it another shot. Give it another good, true shot. And hopefully my content is something that you guys like. If it is, if you find it useful, please let me know. It helps motivate me to do more of what I enjoy. I'm also going to do other stuff besides MikroTik. I'm going to do some stuff with Vios. I'm going to do some stuff with free-range routing. I'm going to do a bunch of security stuff as well. I've got some security videos in production right now that are not MikroTik specific. They are vendor agnostic. We're talking industry best practices and things like that. Anyway, I wanted to put this out there. Again, not as a bitch session, not to shit on MikroTik, not to complain, although there's a lot of complaining happening, and I'm sorry for that. I wanted to let you know kind of where I've been, where I'm at now, and hopefully where I'm going. So more deep dives to come, more content to come. I appreciate all of you that have found my videos kind of in my absence and subscribed. When I get that ding on my phone and I look down and I see that someone else has found those videos useful enough to subscribe, that motivates me to get back into it. That motivates me again to find the faith. So more to come. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for everything. We'll talk to you again soon.